What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the U.S.S. Enterprise A 1.1 discussion series, episode 2. I just want to thank you again for tuning in today's episode. If you haven't, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, helping me in supporting the channel. I can't thank you enough for that. And of course, don't forget to join the Discord channel. I'll have a link in the description below. Right now, I'm doing a poll on my next ship build, and that's going to be running as long as I'm working on the Enterprise D. So if you would like to be involved and have your voice heard in what my next ship build is going to be sure to join the Discord, click on next build poll, and vote on the ship that you want to see me do next. Now, for whatever reason, if there's something that you'd like to see me do that's not on that list, you can also click on build suggestions and add your suggestion that you'd like to see me do. This way people can upvote it. This is actually going to be the only way I'm going to be taking suggestions moving forward. So if you'd like to have your suggestion heard from the community, be sure to join that. Lastly, I have a watch party coming up this Saturday. And it's going to be really cool that I'm doing this. This Saturday the 9th at 4 p.m. Eastern, I'm doing a watch party for Star Trek The Motion Picture Director's Cut 4K Edition. This is going to be in celebration of First Contact Day, which, by the way, happy First Contact Day. But this is going to be a lot of fun, so be sure to check out the Discord, and hopefully I'll be able to see you guys there. We'll be having a lot of fun just watching Star Trek The Motion Picture in 4K and just hanging out. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this thing that we have up on the screen right now. I got some cool stuff to show you guys today. I wasn't actually going to be doing another episode on this for a while, but those of you that follow me on Discord probably know what I'm getting ready to talk about and probably have seen a lot of this stuff. But I've actually been working on this ship quite a bit, even though I haven't started working on it in Minecraft. I'm basically prepping myself for getting ready to do this tutorial on Minecraft once we hit 1,000 subscribers, which is also very important. We're not going to be doing this until we hit 1,000. It's important to have goals, and I know that this is something that we can do. So if you want to see this ship on Minecraft and see me do a tutorial, be sure to help me out. Help out and share this video with your friends. Tell them to subscribe, like this video. That helps me get more views. I can't thank you enough for that. But you guys have probably seen this picture already from the last episode that I did, and I'm just really proud of this. This is a nice mixture of the original Enterprise A. It's got a hint of the 2009 Enterprise and a hint of the Enterprise from Star Trek Beyond. And in my opinion, this is what the ship should have looked like. But we're going to continue on and check out a couple more angles of this ship. So like I said, I've been working on this a little bit. And we've got our bottom view here, and the thing just looks awesome. It took me a little while to get all this right. I was actually working on this for a couple of weeks until I got it to a point that I was actually happy with. Especially getting this piece in here lined up where it should be. You'll probably notice again by the side view, I'm using the saucer from the Star Trek Beyond Enterprise. The neck is from the 2009 Enterprise. The lower hull is a mixture of the 2009 Enterprise as well as the Star Trek Beyond Enterprise, where the pylons I really referenced off of the original Enterprise A, and the nacelles I took from concept art that somebody had made for the U.S.S. Excelsior, adding just a little bit of a spin on it. So let's go ahead and move on to the next picture. I'm sure I'll have more stuff to talk about as we go. Really, I just wanted to show you guys some of the stuff that I've been working on today. And now we've got our top-down view. Now, the reason I have this in black and white, we'll get into that in just a little bit, but really I wanted to see these lines clear. But now you can actually see the ship with its color and everything. Really, my goal here was trying to cherry-pick certain details between the enterprises that I named and kind of merging them together. Because I've talked about this in the last discussion episode, that this is the same thing that the producers of Star Trek do 9 times out of 10 when they make a new ship. They pull ideas from other ships and they mix them together, which is exactly what we're doing. I think that's really, really cool. The top and bottom view weren't really that difficult to do. Now, getting into the front and rear view were the hardest things to come up with. And you can see here more closely now where I was talking about that I was going to include the impulse engines from the Enterprise refit at the end of Star Trek Beyond, because I kind of felt like, they updated those impulse engines already, and that should have been included. That new technology should have been included on the new ship. So, again, it's just kind of that eye to detail and pulling out those little details included in this thing. And then, of course, we've got our front section. Now, you probably notice I'm kind of going through these a little bit fast, but I'm doing this for a reason, because I'm really just showing these screenshots to you guys so I can show you the main thing on why I'm doing today's episode. But again, especially with the front view here, you can see with the deflector dish, I pretty much wanted to pull the deflector dish from the original Enterprise A and incorporate that into the build a little bit too. So now that you guys have been able to see the front, side, top, bottom, and rear view of this thing, how would you like to see a 3D version of it? So let's go ahead and pull this up. Really excited to show this thing off. I've actually been working with a 3D artist for the past 2 weeks to make this thing happen. There were a couple reasons why I decided to do this. I thought that it would be helpful for the channel as far as building this ship out, because you guys know that when I build these things, I usually want to grab some type of 3D model or physical model to work with. So it was kind of vital to have this thing. On top of that, once I had the concept art, all the views completed on the outside of the ship, it really started scratching away at my brain, where I was thinking, how awesome would it be to have a 3D model of this thing done and have it printed and actually make a real model off of it. And that's what I decided to do. Now you're going to see there's a couple of slight variations between my concept art and the final product. This is really a combination of just the process of working with the person that I hired to do this job, because I did actually hire a 3D artist to make this ship. And if I have people asking me about it, I'll probably share his information, because he honestly loved the work. Very nice gentleman, name is Andrew. He helped me out with this. I won't give out his last name, but if you're interested in having a 3D model ship done, and you'd be willing to pay a little bit of money for it, not an excessive amount of money, but still, if you want it done right, you're going to have to spend a little bit of money for this. Reach out to me and I'll give you his information. You can hit him up on Upwork. So I definitely want to give him a shout out, because I really am proud of this thing. You can't see some of the details here in the engines because of the lighting on this program and the angle that it's in. But they're there. All the details that we have from our concept art are here. The only thing that's not included, and this was actually by design, was the louvers on the sides of the engines, and then this piece that kind of stuck out here in the front like the Vengeance. Originally, I was going to want this stuff included, because my thought process behind it was that I wanted this to feel like kind of like the natural evolution, where this Enterprise maybe would have a little bit of that Vengeance technology. But just going through the concept phase to a 3D model and seeing it, once I saw the engines in this state, I knew that this is what I wanted, because it has such an elegant look to it. It's very, very close to what I had. It's just slightly different. Again, it's missing those louvers and the extra piece. I wish I could make it and mess with the lighting here so you guys can see the little line work and everything. Because it really looks fantastic. I could probably pull up my 3D program that I'm going to be having this printed through, but I don't really want to do all that, because then we can't look at this full screen. The main difference other than that you're probably going to notice between the concept art and my ship, or the concept art and a 3D model, is that this back piece of the pylon doesn't come up to the neck. And to be honest with you, that's okay. This is one of the reasons why it took 2 weeks to get this thing done. Not for that area specifically, but just trial and error, looking, comparing the concept art to what I had done. and trying to make that come to life in a 3D model. And it just ended up turning out that this was the best way to do it. Um, I really, there's not really that much I can say about it other than I'm just over the moon happy with it. It's hard to deny that this is probably within, I want to say 98% of what I made, including the impulse engines from the end of Star Trek Beyond. Those look great. Um, let's see what else. Um, let's look at this thing from a different view here. We can go and switch it to the top. You can see this area here is actually really difficult to do, where it kind of has like these shoulders that are attached to the pylons, which is something that the concept art for the Enterprise A from Star Trek Beyond had. I really wanted to include them in this build, and that was something, it probably took a week just to get that area right alone. Um, Again, the saucer is spot on with the Enterprise A from Star Trek Beyond, and trying to think of what else. We've got our hole in the bottom of the ship. Now, you'll probably laugh at what I have that there. That's actually going to be a hole for where the base stand is going to go. Because I already have a stand for this model. This is going to be about 13 inches or so when it's printed. I have a model of the well, it's not even a model. I guess it's a toy. It's a 13-inch model from the 2009 movie. And when I had this thing designed, I took measurements from that model as a reference because I wanted to get something along the same size. Because one, I didn't want to spend an astronomical amount of money to have this printed, and I wanted to be able to try to save money with that regard because I already have a stand for it. But yeah, that's why that's there. But no, this will be very cool because this is going to help us to really look at this thing from different angles and see exactly what we need to add when we make this thing on Minecraft. I may end up at one point having this up available for people to get. I don't know if I'll put it on a free site because I actually paid to have this made. If I do put it up where you have to buy it, it probably won't be very much, maybe a couple of bucks or something like that. We'll see. But I may not do it unless I have enough people asking me for it. So if you want to get this ship printed yourself, let me know in the comments section. Let me know that you want to see it, and I might actually put it up so that people can do it. But I can tell you, this will be the reason why I'm not probably going to charge a lot of money for the file. Getting the ship printed, going through some of these websites, you're probably looking at about 200 bucks. Not going to lie. That's around what I'm going to have to spend on this thing to have it printed, but it'll be worth it. Somebody might say you're out of your freaking mind for spending that amount of money to have this printed, but this will be something that I'll probably have forever, and it'll be able to sit on my desk, and it's something that I design. I'll be able to really enjoy it, you know? So why not? But I mean, there's not really that much else I can talk about this thing. It's got all the angles that you'd expect based off the concept art and what you'd see uh, in any of the movies. And like, this is one of the things that sold it for me. Looking at the ship from this angle, I call this the Enterprise angle. I think that this is like one of the angles that they probably showed the original Enterprise more times than I can think of. Like when I first think of the original Enterprise, I think about it looking at that back view. And that was one of the things that sold this model design when I saw it, the finished version of it. Being able to see this angle and looking at it from the other angles, it looks like the Enterprise no matter which angle you look at it from. And that's how I know I did a pretty decent job with designing it, even though I cherry picked and kind of merged some ideas together. So I can't really say that I designed this thing from scratch. That would be a fib. And I'm not trying to do that, but I'm really just trying to show off what I've done here today because I'm really proud of it, you know? And I think at this point, the next step, what I'm going to be doing is, again, having this thing printed out, and I may end up doing a video series on that. I haven't 100% decided if I'm going to. But I'm thinking I'm probably going to do that because I won't say that I'm an expert with model making and painting, but I'd like to say that I have enough experience that I'm confident enough that I can do it on a video and show other people what they can do too, to where if you're in a similar situation, what you can do to paint, have one of these painted or printed, painted, and detail it and everything. So that might be something that I do as a way to kind of keep this thing relevant on my channel, to continue to get people excited about it while we approach 1,000 subscribers. Because again, once we hit 1,000, then we're going to be doing a tutorial on Minecraft on this. And yeah, so anyway, this is my ship, and I'm really excited to be able to show this thing off. Honestly, I've wanted to do a video on this for a week now, and I've been stopping myself from doing it because I really wanted to have a finished ship, like truly. And before I showed it off, I didn't want to jump the gun in that regard. But you might be asking yourself, well, this thing will be fine and all, but when you get it printed, it's not going to have that much detail. Don't worry, I had this thing designed this way by design because I'm a pretty resourceful person. I found a similar model kit online. I believe it's the Polar Lights Enterprise. I forget what scale it is, but there's a decal set that you can get, and I'm fairly confident that I'll be able to convert 90% of that onto this model after I paint it. So that's where a lot of that detail is going to come from. Really, the main thing I was looking to have done with this thing was the shape. Once I do that, the only thing I'll be missing is the windows, but I might be able to find something with that. I wouldn't be surprised if I can find a decal set for windows. And if you know of any, let me know in the comments section, because I haven't actually started looking yet, and that's going to be something that I'll probably be doing fairly soon. As far as when you guys can expect me to do an actual tutorial on painting the 3D printed model, I don't want to say that that's going to happen right away. That may not happen for maybe a month or two. I think realistically it'll probably maybe be towards the end of May before I end up having that out. But I think that's something I'm probably going to do. I think people would get a kick out of it. I think it would be very enjoyable. And even though it's not building directly in a video game, I still think it applies to what I do on my YouTube channel, creating stuff. So I think I can get away with doing something like that. But anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up today. Really just wanted to show this thing off, show you guys some of the stuff I've been working on, and try to get people more excited about stuff that's going to be coming on the YouTube channel in the future. But yeah, I just want to thank you all again for tuning in today's episode. And hey, if you did enjoy this content, please help me out. Hit that like and subscribe button, helping me in supporting the channel. I can't thank you enough for that. And new subscribers, always make sure you hit notifications on so you get notified when those new videos drop. And speaking of new videos, you can always catch my new Minecraft episodes dropping Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for me. I hope everybody has a happy and safe week. And if you have any questions regarding today's episode, just drop them by to say, hey, be sure to drop a comment below. Definitely love hearing from everybody. But I think that's going to do it. And thank you all again for tuning in. And what did you make in Minecraft today? Let me know in the comments section.